Hello, welcome back to Fitness Friday with Johnny Tiger. The date is Friday, July 17, 2020. And yes, you are actually seeing me on the camera today. Today I want to talk a little bit about one of the topics that's most hated by those who hate push-ups. Yes, we're going to talk about push-ups. This dreaded exercise that is almost the gold standard of the armies and marine military forces all over the world. When I was 12 years old, my father started trying to force me and my brothers into doing push-ups. He would make us do 20 push-ups before we were allowed to go to bed. And to make sure that we did perfect push-ups, he would stick a screwdriver underneath our body, between our body and the floor. So if we go down too fast, we would jab ourselves, almost impaling ourselves on the screwdriver. And if we feel that we can't do another one and we want to let ourselves drop, the fear of the impalement was always there. Back then, I was told that if you can do 20 push-ups, that is the standard of any real man. If you can't even do 20 push-ups, then you're not a real man. If you can't even do 20 push-ups, then you're not fit. And that was my belief throughout my early adulthood. I believed that I could do 20 push-ups. Heck, at one point I could do up to 50 push-ups. I believed that was good enough. I was fine. I was fit. If 20 push-ups was the standard for manhood, then I could do more than double that. So I was more than twice the man that was required to do any job. In 2011, I returned to training and competing and fighting in martial art on a more serious level. I remember my first lesson very clearly. My sensei, and now my really good friend, and sometimes my boss, Alan. Thank you, Alan, for everything you've done. Just want to give that shout out. My sensei, Alan, asked me when I showed up for class that first day. He said, what would you say if I asked you about your fitness level? And I was very confident because, even though I wasn't really training regularly in martial art for the past 10, 11 years. I was dragon boating, I was swimming, I was weightlifting, I did all kinds of stuff. And I taught my own students, teaching them self-defense. So I said, well, I think I'm pretty fit. I think I'm, you know, uh, pretty decent. And then he asked me to do 50 push-ups. And I got down, I did 50 push-ups. And then he asked me to do 50 sit-ups. And I got down and I did 50 sit-ups. And he told me to do 50 squats. So I started doing 50 squats. And long story short, half an hour later, I was flat on my back, on the ground, on the floor. And I said, okay, I admit, I suck. I'm not very fit at all. That was a humbling experience. And then, gradually, as I got into the Krav Maga program, I realized that what I thought of as being very fit was the bare tip of the iceberg. I didn't know anything about being really, really fit. I thought doing 50 push-ups was the extreme, the ultimate. It was my top performance. I thought that was my limit. Little did I know that within a short 4 years' time, I would be busting out 800 push-ups for my Krav Maga exam. 800 push-ups in 1 hour. Now, for those of you who are like Superman and Mr. Universe, they are scoffing and say 800 push-ups in 1 hour. That's nothing. That's easy. And those of you who are who are not really into push-ups, you are saying that's crazy. There's no way. No one can do 800 push-ups, no matter if it's in an hour or in 2 hours or in 24 hours. It actually wasn't that bad. I mean, it was really bad at the time. I'm not going to say it wasn't difficult. It was very, very, very difficult, especially on the psychological level. But when you really think about it, 800 push-ups in an hour, that's only about 14 push-ups every minute. 14 push-ups every minute. That, when you put it that way, it sounds a lot more doable. Now, of course, I'm not here today to say that we all have to get to the point where we have to do 800 push-ups, because that is definitely extreme. But I'm here to say that for someone like me, who grew up as a chubby little kid, a fat teenager, who struggled to do 20 push-ups, someone who had to have a screwdriver stuck underneath my body to encourage me to do 20 push-ups. And then later on, someone who thought his peak performance was 50 push-ups, 800 push-ups was a great personal victory. And that can be yours too. Not just in push-ups, but in anything you choose to do. As long as you know how to do it smartly and how to work your way up to it. So today I'm going to start you off on how we can get started doing push-ups. For those of you who think push-ups are super, super hard, this is going to be a two-part series. So part one today, and then the next part we'll do on next Fitness Friday. The first step in developing the right muscles, the right combination, the right movement for your push-up is to learn to do it against the wall, where you don't have to worry about balance, where you don't have to worry about falling down, slipping, or stuff like that. So let's say I use this wall here. Your number one wall push-up is simple. We're going to stand about arm length away from the wall, perfectly straight. We're going to reach our hands out. This can be a wall or windowsill. By the way, I'm using the windowsill. Reach our hand up to chest level and touch our palm or fist. You can do it either way. Palm or fist against the wall. Like you're going to push this wall down. Now we're going to go up on our tiptoe. And then we're going to drop our weight forward and let our arm bend. And then push ourselves back and let our arm bend. Push ourselves back, let our arm bend. Push ourselves back, bend. Now this is almost laughable on how easy it is, but if you stay here and do, well, let's say 200 of these, you'll get tired. Next step, we're going to start stepping back. So from this original position, we take one step back, both feet go back one step. Now we are a little bit more extended, and we repeat the process. Lean forward, push. Lean forward, push. Keep your elbow nice and tight against your rib cage. Forward, push. Forward, push. Still staying on our tiptoe. Forward, push. And then we take one more step back. Now we are really extended. Our body is really extended, okay? This is going to be a little bit harder. So if it's too hard, then go back one step and repeat the previous step. Okay? Step number 3. Forward, push. Forward, push. Forward, push. And then one more step. Now we are almost horizontal. Our arms are almost above our shoulder at the diagonal. We are leaning extremely forward to be able to reach that wall. Okay? This is going to get a lot harder. We lean forward and push. We lean forward and push. Just like that. 4 stages of push-up using that wall. From the extremely ridiculously easy to very decently difficult. And then, once you get a hang of this, then you can start playing around. Now we can do one arm push-up against the wall. Starting from standing straight up. This time I'm only going to put one hand on the wall, put one hand on my hip, lean forward, push, lean forward, push, lean forward, push. And then we step back, still one hand on the wall. Lean forward, push, lean forward, push, lean forward, and push. And you get the idea. You really want to, you can even do finger push-up. Okay? Let's say we go back to the default, original, totally upright position. This time, rather than putting my fist or hand on the wall, I splayed out my finger and put my fingertips to the wall. Lean forward, push. Lean forward, push. And then we step back, lean forward, push. Lean forward, push. All on the tips of our finger. Keep this up for a week, and then you will be ready to move on to a lower elevation, such as using a bed or a chair like this. So, we move from the wall to the chair. And all this is going to be is I'm going to stand about 2 feet away from the chair. I'm going to bend forward and put my hand on the seat of the chair. And then I'm going to walk my feet back until my body is almost horizontal. And then again, keep my elbows nice and tight. Go down and push up. 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 One thing to keep in mind when you are doing push-up is don't hold your head still. When you go down, let your head drop. When you come up, look up. Your neck needs to move with your body, with your spine. Otherwise, you're wasting a lot of energy just holding that still. Breathing is also very important when we do push-up. A lot of people get confused on when is it to breathe in, when is it to breathe out. The easy way I can tell you is anytime you are pushing away from your body, you breathe out. Anytime you pull towards your body, you breathe in. So when I'm dropping down, I take a deep breath, and then when I come up, push out, in, out, in, out. When I go down, I breathe in. When I push, I breathe out. After a little bit, you'll be ready to move on to the next stage in your chair push-up. Now we'll get a little bit more creative. Rather than both hands on the seat of the chair, let me move this forward a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see this. Rather than both hands on the seat of the chair, this time we are going to have one hand on the seat and one hand on the back. Okay? We push up, and then we switch hand. Right hand tongue onto the seat, left hand go on the back of the chair, down and up. And then we switch hand again. Left hand on the seat, right hand on the back of the chair, down, up. Okay? You switch after every push-up. Or you can do 10 on one side and then switch. As I said, once you get comfortable with the wall, you move on to the chair. Once you get comfortable with the chair, you'll be ready for the floor. And we'll talk about that when we come back again for the next Fitness Friday. Thank you for checking out today's episode. We'll be back again tomorrow for Survival Saturday. For now, keep training, have fun, and have a good day.